Imagine you're trekking through a dense, humid rainforest. It's a place teeming with life, where every leaf and shadow could be hiding something incredible. This is exactly what a traveler named James Hingsley was doing way back in 1879. He was journeying through the lush jungles of Indonesia, a world away from his home in Australia. As he explored, he saw something that completely blew his mind. It appeared to be a beautiful, delicate flower, but as he watched, a butterfly fluttered down to land on it. In a flash, the flower seemed to come alive, snatching the unsuspecting butterfly right out of the air. Hingsley rushed back with stories of a flesh-eating orchid, a plant that had turned into a predator. Of course, we now know that what Hingsley saw wasn't a plant at all. He had stumbled upon one of nature's most amazing masters of disguise, the Orchid Mantis. This incredible insect, whose scientific name is Hymenopus coronatus, lives in the warm, tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia. Its home is a vibrant world filled with countless species of flowers, and it has evolved to look just like one of them. Its legs are shaped like petals, and its body is a brilliant mix of white and pink, perfectly matching the orchids and other blossoms it lives among. This disguise is so convincing that for a long time, people believed the stories of carnivorous flowers. It's a testament to how perfectly this creature fits into its environment. When most of us think about camouflage, we think about animals trying to hide from things that want to eat them. A lizard might blend in with a rock to avoid a hawk, or a moth might look like tree bark to escape a bird. This is called defensive mimicry, and it's all about not being seen. But the orchid mantis is doing something far more cunning and a lot more clever. It isn't just hiding from its enemies, it's using its beautiful disguise as a weapon. This strategy is known as aggressive mimicry. The mantis doesn't wait for food to wander by. Instead, it actively tricks its prey into coming directly to it, turning its own body into an irresistible trap. This amazing insect has perfected the art of the ambush. It will find a flower or a leafy branch and then stay completely motionless, sometimes for hours on end. It holds its front legs, which are armed with sharp spines, folded up and ready to strike in an instant. Pollinating insects, like bees, flies, and butterflies, are drawn to flowers for their sweet nectar. They see what they think is a safe and delicious-looking blossom, a perfect place to land and feed. But the moment they get too close, the flower springs to life. The mantis's attack is lightning fast, and the unsuspecting insect has no chance to escape its powerful grasp. It's a brilliant, deadly strategy. For a long time, scientists thought they understood how the orchid mantis hunted. The theory was simple. The mantis looked like a flower, so it would sit on or near a flower to ambush visiting insects. It seemed like a classic case of blending in with the background. But then, some researchers started noticing something strange. They saw orchid mantises sitting on green leaves, far away from any actual blossoms, and they were still successfully catching prey. This observation didn't quite fit the old theory. If the mantis needed to blend in with flowers, why was it so successful when there were no flowers around? This question led to a whole new way of looking at this creature's amazing disguise. Scientists decided to put this mystery to the test with some clever experiments. They set up controlled environments where they could observe how insects behaved around the mantis. In one setup, they had a real flower. In another, they had just an orchid mantis. And what they discovered was truly shocking. The insects, like bees and flies, were actually more attracted to the orchid mantis than they were to the real flowers. The mantis wasn't just blending in, it was outcompeting the actual blossoms. It was like a restaurant putting up a sign that was bigger and brighter than all the others on the street, drawing in all the customers. This discovery changed everything we thought we knew about the orchid mantis. Its disguise wasn't about hiding, it was about advertising. The mantis had become a super stimulus. To understand this, you have to think about how an insect sees the world. A bee doesn't see the fine details of a flower the way we do. Instead, its eyes are drawn to general shapes and bright patches of color. The orchid mantis, with its large, petal-like legs and vibrant coloration, creates a visual signal that is even bigger, brighter, and more perfectly symmetrical than many of the real flowers in the jungle. To a passing bee, the mantis looks like the best flower it has ever seen. One of the most brilliant parts of this strategy is that the orchid mantis isn't mimicking just one specific type of flower. Some plants have evolved to attract only one type of pollinator, but the mantis has gone for a more general approach. It looks a little bit like many different kinds of flowers found in its habitat. This makes it a generalized mimic. By not tying its appearance to a single species of orchid, the mantis broadens its menu options. It can attract a wide variety of bees, flies, moths, butterflies, and other small insects, making it a highly effective and adaptable hunter in its complex rainforest home. It's a true generalist predator in a specialist's costume. So, how does the world look different to a human versus an insect? When we look at an orchid mantis sitting among flowers, our brains process the scene very differently. We see the intricate details, the subtle shapes, and the way the light reflects off its body. To us, the mantis is an example of what we call cryptic mimicry. It blends in so well with its surroundings that we have a hard time spotting it. We see it as a creature that is hiding in plain sight, perfectly camouflaged against a background of petals and leaves. Our perception is focused on concealment, on the art of not being seen by a potential predator that might be looking for it. For an insect, however, the story is completely the opposite. A bee's eyes and brain are wired to find food, and that food is usually a flower. They aren't looking for hidden predators, they're looking for big, bright, promising targets. When a bee sees an orchid mantis, it doesn't perceive a hidden insect. It sees a giant, glowing advertisement for nectar. The mantis's body sends a signal that screams, "perfect flower," to the bee's simple visual system. The bee is not fooled because it sees a perfect imitation. It is lured in because the mantis presents an exaggerated, irresistible version of what it's looking for. It's a fatal attraction, based on a completely different way of seeing the world. To make its disguise even more convincing, the orchid mantis doesn't just look like a flower, it acts like one too. If you ever have the chance to watch one for a while, you might see it gently rocking back and forth or swaying from side to side. It isn't getting ready to pounce, or just shifting its weight. This subtle movement perfectly mimics a delicate blossom being stirred by a gentle breeze in the rainforest. This added layer of behavioral mimicry completes the illusion. An insect flying by not only sees what looks like a flower, but also sees it moving in a natural, flower-like way, removing any last shred of doubt that it might be something else. This kind of aggressive mimicry, where a predator uses a trick to lure its prey, is a strategy found in other parts of the animal kingdom as well, and some examples are just as clever. Deep in the murky waters of North American rivers lives the alligator snapping turtle. This giant turtle will lie perfectly still on the riverbed with its mouth wide open. Inside its mouth, its tongue has a bright pink worm-like tip that it wriggles and squirms. An unsuspecting fish, thinking it has found a tasty worm for dinner, swims right into the turtle's mouth, only to have the powerful jaws snap shut. It's another perfect example of a predator turning a part of its own body into a deadly lure. The animal world is full of these incredible deceptions. Another master of the trick is the anglerfish, which lives in the pitch-black darkness of the deep ocean. Food is scarce down there, so the anglerfish has evolved a truly ingenious tool for hunting. Dangling from its head is a long, flexible spine with a fleshy, glowing bulb at the end. This bulb is filled with bioluminescent bacteria, creating a beacon of light in the endless dark. Smaller fish and other creatures are irresistibly drawn to this mysterious light, thinking it might be a tiny, glowing meal. As they get closer to investigate the lure, they swim right in front of the anglerfish's enormous mouth, and in an instant, they are swallowed whole. These strategies show that there is more than one way to be a successful predator. You don't always have to be the fastest or the strongest. Sometimes, being the cleverest is what counts. The orchid mantis, the alligator snapping turtle, and the anglerfish have all mastered the art of deception. They use lures and disguises to turn the tables on their prey, making the hunter become the hunted. They exploit their prey's own natural instincts, the search for food, a mate, or simple curiosity, and use those instincts against them. It's a high-stakes game of trickery, and these animals are the ultimate winners, having perfected their craft over millions of years of evolution. The orchid mantis remains one of the most stunning examples of this phenomenon because of the dual nature of its disguise. To us humans, with our complex vision and big brains, it is a master of camouflage, an expert at hiding. We are impressed by its ability to blend in and disappear. We search for it among the flowers, and when we finally spot it, we feel like we've uncovered a secret. Our minds see an animal trying not to be found, and we admire how well it succeeds. It's a beautiful puzzle for our eyes to solve, a hidden gem in the rainforest. But for the insects it preys upon, the mantis is the exact opposite of hidden. It is a bold, bright, and impossible to miss beacon. It doesn't hide, it stands out. This difference in perception is what makes the orchid mantis so fascinating. It highlights how two different animals can look at the exact same thing and see completely different worlds. For us, it's a hidden flower. For a bee, it's the most beautiful flower it has ever seen. And in that crucial difference lies the secret to the orchid mantis's success, a beautiful, deadly predator hiding in plain sight.